Situationships. Have you ever found yourself in a situationship and wondered what it was, or even if it's worth the emotional investment? Join me today as we dive into the world of situationships. It's becoming pretty popular. See if we should even consider whether or not to survive one for even a month. And that's kind of like what it is, survival. So what exactly is a situationship? How did they even start? It's the kind of relationship that's become pretty popular, unfortunately. It's sort of like a friend without benefits. There's no commitment. And you're not quite single, but you're not quite in a relationship either. It's sort of like being stuck in limbo, and it can get pretty emotionally complicated. Let's face it, situationships can be a real challenge. And I understand it's better to have someone than not have anyone, but a situationship is very difficult. One of the toughest parts is a lack of clarity. You're never really sure where you stand with the other person. Are you exclusive? Are things just casual? It's like trying to read between the lines, but the lines are blurry and keep shifting. You can't help but wonder, am I just an option? Am I the priority? Emotional roller coasters are another hallmark of situationships. One day, you're on top of the world. The next, you're crashing down to earth. It's like being on a never-ending Ferris wheel of feelings. You're up and you're down. You're spinning around in circles. And just when you think you have things figured out, the ride takes another sharp turn. Then, there's the potential heartache. When you're invested in someone, but they're not fully invested in you, it can be devastating. You can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? The uncertainty can eat away at your self-esteem and leave you feeling a little bit drained. But what about those situations where you're stuck in the middle, not quite sure what's going on? You're not getting the closure you need, and you're left wondering what could have been. It's like being stuck in a relationship purgatory, and that could be super frustrating. When it comes to situationships, there are a few key dynamics at play. For starters, they often develop when people are hesitant to commit, or maybe they're not ready for a traditional relationship. Maybe one person is still getting over an ex, or maybe they're just not ready to label things with you. Signs you're in a situationship can be subtle, but they're there. If you find yourself constantly wondering where you stand, or if you're always waiting for the other person to make the next move, you might be in a situationship. And if you're always feeling uncertain or anxious about that relationship, that's a major red flag. So how do situations differ from traditional relationships? In traditional relationships, there's usually a clear understanding of what's going on. You're exclusive, you're committed, you're a team. In a situationship, it's more like a solo act, where you're just trying to figure out things as you go. Here's the thing. Understanding your own needs is a key to navigating these situationships. What do you want out of the relationship? What are some of your non-negotiables if you have any? Take time to reflect on what you need, and don't be afraid to communicate these needs. Recognizing when it's time to move on or redefining the relationship is also crucial. If you're constantly feeling unhappy or uncertain, it might be time to take a step back and reevaluate. And if the other person is not willing to meet you right there in the middle, it might be time to cut your losses and move on. Situationships can be tough and often are, but communication and self-awareness are the key to surviving them, even if you enter them. Remember to take care of yourself, communicate your needs, and don't be afraid to walk away if things aren't working out. Thanks for tuning in. If you're in a situationship or have been in a situation before, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other videos on relationship topics. We're just getting started here. I've got some great content lined up for you.